Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. We got a whole host of things to talk about this AM because a whole lot of crazy stuff has happened. And the war is escalating. Just so y'all know, the war is getting worse. So we're going to talk about a couple things this AM. But the war is getting worse. It's escalating. Now the Houthis are involved. Hey, Stephanie, good morning. The Houthis are involved now, which escalates it even more. Uh-oh. Accidentally hit my phone. So, hey, Mogi, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Steph. Yeah, so Trump has essentially destabilized the Middle East. That's what Donald Trump has done. In going and starting a conflict with Iran, he has destabilized the entire region. Okay? He has destabilized the entire region by doing what he has done. And not only has he destabilized the region, right? Now Iran is asking for things that they weren't even asking for before. Hey, Zarvis, good morning. Hey, Tyra, good morning. They're now asking for things that they weren't even asking for before, all because the president of the United States decided that he wasn't going to he was just going to keep going on and on and on and on and on about this. Because that's exactly what has happened. On and on and on, constantly, and Trump won't let it go. We wouldn't be in this predicament with Iran. We wouldn't be in the middle of a war if it wasn't for the president of the United States, and not just him. If it wasn't for the Republican members of Congress not wanting to do their jobs. Because at the end of the day, Congress could have been reined this in or stopped this from happening altogether, but Congress won't do their jobs. This is why midterms, you need to vote blue. You need to vote blue. Now, can I say I am still extremely excited and happy about the crash out that I see happening in the conservative circles in relation to the Drewski stuff? They're still crashing out from the shit. And to that, I say continue to crash. Because it shows the hypocrisy and the double standard. They're more upset about Drewski than they are about the fact that Charlie Kirk's widow was running all around town doing any and everything, but mourning the loss of that damn husband. I told y'all from the beginning, she was like, Charlie who? Right, they was just say it again, Zarvis. They was just dragging Erica Kirk. Candace drags Erica Kirk every week. All of a sudden, they're outraged by and I keep saying it was a skit, but it was really a documentary. When you just look at it, he nailed it. That is exactly how she's been behaving. And if she doesn't like the conversation and the discourse, she maybe should change her behavior, because people are commenting on her behavior. They're mocking her behavior. Your husband is unalived in front of a crowd of people, and less than a month later, you're on a stage in leather hot pants, rubbing your fingers through another man's hair, talking about celebrations and doing all these things in your husband's honor. Wait a minute. That says anything but I miss that fucking man. Good morning, Trail. So I caught it pretty early. Hey, listen, Isaac, I'm not sorry either. That Drewski skit is fucking hilarious. I was watching it again yesterday. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you the parts that break me down every fucking time I watch it. Because there are some specific parts in that video that break me down. When Drewski's sitting there and he says, and she's like, I pray and give it up to my savior. And then he goes, The times when he just looks straight into the camera and just is like, I don't know what it is about those moments, but those particular moments make me cackle every fucking time. Because Erica Kirk has those crazy ass eyes where she's like, remember that video? She's like, stop. Stop. So it reminds me of that. He's nailing it. He nailed it. And then when I saw the video this weekend of that other blonde woman at CPAC, right? The chick at CPAC, she could barely breathe. She was winded. Have the audacity to talk about men and women's sports. Girl, you can't even be in women's sports. You ain't got the cardio for it. You ain't got the lungs for it. But she worried about men being, ain't no man gonna be in no sport she in. No sport she in. She ain't got the stamina to be in those sports. So Miss Girl never has to worry. Now they put out another Lego video, Kiki. If so, I have not seen the newest one. However, I'm gonna tell you what I have seen, and we're gonna look at it this morning on Patreon, because we will have an uncensored show this morning. I'm gonna tell y'all they put out a couple new videos this weekend. Iran not playing, and not only them, the Houthis did too. It's like everybody and their mama showing up like, shit, I want in. Well, let me in. Like now everybody wants in. So even the Houthis put out something. Iran's embassy put out something, poking at I'm real. They ain't just poking at us. They're poking at the only other country helping us do this shit. Okay? Just so y'all know. They were mobilizing troops this weekend, moving people around. I told y'all, right? The big thing is this. So many Americans will lose their lives in fighting this war, an unnecessary war. But I'm going to tell you something else to pay attention to. Pay attention to the internet and how there are going to be a lot of accounts online promoting this shit. But when you go and dig in the account, you can just tell it's probably either a faceless account, but it's a non-American pretending to be an American. I love this for MAGA. I tell you, I love that the administration is kind of hinting at draft. I love that shit. Yeah, or bot. So I love that we may be going into a draft, because I want every single one of those good old boys, those podcast bros. Hell, I even want the passport bros to get caught up. Hey, you can go overseas and travel for free and find your woman while you're fighting war. Yeah, I said what I said. I want them to get caught up. Yeah, a lot of times they're from Russians or the Chinese, but you know what's even more funny? Also, if you watch on conservative message boards, they're still not willing to accept that the Russians are feeding intel to Iran. Trump isn't either, because he still took sanctions off of Russian oil. So you take sanctions off of Russian and Iranian oil. You continue to put money in the pockets of the very entities, right? The very entities that you're fighting with, that also are making you look bad, but you put money in their pocket. Well, shit, they gonna fight forever. Iran ain't got nothing but time. Imagine living in an area where you've always thought the West is coming to invade you. Imagine that. These people been training for this for decades, for years. They've been waiting. However, America, if you think that Iran is going to be Iraq, in which you lost a lot of soldiers in Iraq, you're going to lose even more in Iran. Y'all going to learn. You're going to learn how great your country is. It's great enough to let you die for it. But the rich and powerful people who make these decisions will lose nothing. I told y'all that Iran is going to be Donald Trump's Vietnam War. I told y'all. And remember what happened in Vietnam, don't you? Remember all the soldiers who didn't make it home? Remember that shit. Remember all the soldiers who never made it back from Vietnam. All those soldiers never made it back home to their families. Never. This is going to be that same thing. Same thing. Same thing. So I say, now let me tell you another update. All because of Donald Trump, this happened. Now Iran is talking about adding a toll to the Strait of Hormuz. Yep, I said it, a toll. Thank you so much, Kanik. I appreciate that. They're adding a toll. Yeah. Before you could travel through the Strait of Hormuz, and it was free. But now Iran says, you know, we're going to implement a toll system. So if you want to move through our area, you got to pay a toll. We didn't have that before. So now we are permanently have to pay a toll, which means all of anything coming from that region is going to cost more. It's going to cost more. Yeah. It's going to cost. And just so y'all know, I'm blocking my ass off this morning. This block finger is thick. I'm just not acknowledging them. They're crashing out. This meme here got them crashing out. Okay. Crashing out. They in the chats crashing out. Well, it's going to be with that won money. Quiet. Just like I was talking with this guy this morning, we were talking on Instagram, and this was about my MAGA video, where I was saying, you know, in my neighborhood, there's this guy, they had a sign on their fence, and they built this huge tall fence, and they had this sign up, Trump Vance sign, but they've taken it down. And I noticed that they still had it up till a couple weeks ago. Before this war started, they had that fucking sign up. But now with $4 national average gas, the sign is gone. So when I saw the shit, I said, oh, that's kind of funny that they took the sign down now, because you were still loving this shit all up until it hit your pocketbook. See, when it hits their pocketbook, all of a sudden, or their son got deployed, but why take it down? Trump said no new wars, but we all know Trump lied, and they knew he was lying when he said it too. They still voted for it, right? They still voted for it. Okay, so I say, call them up. Time to boot them and suit them. It's time for you to go show that you're the patriot that you pretend to be online. That's how I see it. All these fake ass patriot keyboard patriots. Well, now you don't have to be stuck behind a keyboard. You can go show how big and strong and tough you are by fighting for the nation. Go show. I love this shit. This is some of the best shit ever I've seen. Yeah, some people are going to feel it, but you know who's going to feel it even more? Those people who come from really impoverished sections of America, a lot of them conservatives. A lot of conservatives could never get out of this small pohick town if it wasn't for the military. Let's just keep it a buck. If it wasn't for the military, they would not be able to get out of that small ass pohick town. And for many of them, they're still in the service. But again, I keep going. You know what I always find so ironic about Republicans who are in the military or former Republicans, and they say they're against socialism. Hey, Bo wife, but yet they're in a socialist job, a job that pays for their training, gives them housing, uniforms, money, all these things. They're in a socialist job, but yet somehow, some way become a Republican and don't believe in socialism. Don't believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I'm down with the diversity, not believing in diversity, equity. If that's what they want to do, then I ain't got to worry about going to war. Have at it, sir. Have at it, sir. Take your straight, heterosexual white ass and go fight for the country, sir. I'm going to be sitting at home watching Bridgerton, right? I baked cookies last night without a care in the world. I didn't have to think about getting called up. I literally sat in here and baked chocolate chip cookies and didn't have to think about getting drafted. It's a beautiful thing. Who needs equality when I can watch you fight for me and come home disabled and then Then I vote for people that deny you benefits. Now that's what I call flexing. That's what I call flexing. Y'all decided that, hey, you're tired of equality, and I agree with you. No more equality. Put on your fucking uniform, your boots, and your helmet, and mount up and get your ass over there to fight for us. So I can be unfuck bothered, so you can fight for my black ass. I feel like Queen Charlotte almost. Having all these people fight for me. What do they say? Have them fight for me, darling. Well, I sit at home and sip tea and watch my stories. That's how I'm feeling right about now. I'm feeling real Queen Charlotte-like, because I don't have to do anything. I can just demand things, Now I know how it feels to be royalty. That's the shit that's even more amazing. I know what it is to be a royal. Oh my God. Who would have thunk it? Little old me could be a royal. Right, Zarvis? I'm loving the no more DEI. I'm loving the no more DEI. Hey, Toki. So I agree with you, MAGA. This is your country. So you need to go fight for it. It's so funny how now the young guys who were all in MAGA, thank you, JC, good morning to you. All these young guys who were all in love with MAGA, now that their punk ass might get called up, all of a sudden I don't like Trump. Oh, no, 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 no. You don't get to walk away from the shit. You voted for it. You voted for it. So you should be first in line. You should be ready to risk yourself, right? Because you think your country's so great and it never does nothing wrong. So you need to get out there and fight for it. You gonna sell me your PlayStation? You should sell me your PlayStation. So just in case you don't make it back, your PlayStation doesn't go to waste. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a video about that shit today. And just say, listen, to all the young MAGA men, I have a very serious question for you. And something that's extremely important. Are you gonna sell your PlayStation? Are you gonna sell your PlayStation? Because I be playing my daughter's PS5, but I would like to have my own, but I don't want to pay full price, right? So I'll buy your PlayStation off of you. So you can take that little bit of money you make from me and go have it to spend some time with a young lady, because otherwise she wouldn't spend time with you if you weren't paying anyway. So at least you could use the money that I pay towards having a little company. Yeah, I'd buy a Switch too. My daughter bought one of those. But I'll buy my own. I've been having a good time playing that Mario Kart, that new Mario Kart. So I'll buy your Switch too as well if you bought that. But whatever gaming consoles you looking to sell, I'll even buy your gaming computer. You can't take it with you where you're going. No sense in it going to waste. And be careful over there trying to do content while you're on the front line. That's really not a safe thing to do, to try to do TikTok content from the front lines. See, they love to talk about how much they love America. I'm glad you do. You gonna sell that PS5? Like the fuck? Say it again. Somebody said Call of Duty. Listen, and all the Call of Duty you've played, I'm thinking it'll come in handy with all the tactical work that you'll have to do. Only thing is, unlike the video games, you can't snack your way to recovery. Good morning, smiley face. Ain't no snacking to recovery. You know how like on GTA 5, you got to snack a lot when you lose power? That won't work. That's not going to work in real life. But at least you know, even up to your last breath, if you sold me your PS5, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm going to protect it. And I'm going to play games. I won't forget about you. I'm not going to go out of my way to celebrate you, but I won't forget about you. I'm going to tell people, some sucker ass fool who got called up, sold me his PS5 for $200. What? I got that shit for $200. He was cleaning everything. I got it all, girl. I met him in the parking lot and gave him the $200 cash. He gave me the play. We checked the PlayStation in the parking lot because I'm telling you, he wasn't going to make it to Iran if I found out he was trying to sell me a bad PlayStation that didn't work. So we tested it out, saw that it worked. I wish him well. I wish him well. Now, he better not come back with no limp because I'm going to make sure that my congressman denies him any disability benefits. Get your punk ass to work. You could always be a Walmart greeter. There are many things you could do with a limp. Many things. That's why I say, hey, it's so interesting to watch some of these MAGA moms be online. I was all for Trump, but now my baby's going to be called up. And I'm distraught. I just keep scrolling. I scroll. I don't be wanting to hear that shit. Ain't nobody trying to hear you cry over. We too busy. We having a good time right now. Ain't nobody trying to hear you cry over your boy. Should have been a better parent. You should have been the type of parent that your boy didn't have to go into the service to have a future. You failed your child. Now you be quiet. We can't hear Bridgerton over all that crying. And I'm at the point where Sophie and Benedict, they trying to, make it work. I can't hear over all that noise. I don't want all that crying while I'm trying to watch that. Then you thought a little girl, listen. That's why I ain't think about these people. I'm like, yo, these people have talked themselves into a corner. Good. And now we see that the Army has raised the not draft age, the enlistment age, what is it, to 42? I am so excited by that. Now, that's the most exciting part of all of it, is 42 years old to enlistment. I love that. That's the most exciting part of all of it, because even the older ones thought that they thought that they were exempt. They thought they'd be okay. Man, I done aged out. Man, ain't nobody gonna draft me. You lie. Hey, Victoria, good morning. I love this for people because this is what they voted for. See, Republicans love to go to war. They love conflict. They love shit like this. And if you vote for them, you know that. Then go on ahead and get on up there. Get on up there. So I'm telling you, there are so many MAGA men that are 42 and below that are making doctor's appointments like crazy, trying to find doctors to put them down on paper as disabled, unable to serve. You know what I mean? Now everybody gonna run to their doctor to try to get notes so they don't have to get called up. No, you're not sick. You're not sick. And me being the bitch that I am, I'm gonna make sure that if I see you and I could tell you feel pretty good, I'm gonna make sure to put them videos out there so that people know that you are pretty good. And I'm glad that the Trump administration, they jive raggedy. They don't trust nobody. So they also won't trust your doctor's note. Doctor's notes are only good for rich people. I do have a podcast, but it doesn't come out every day. It only comes out once a week on Wednesdays. The Straight No Chaser podcast. Every Wednesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Spotify, Patreon, YouTube. But I'm thinking about doing like a regular podcast morning thing, like sort of turning to that. As much as I love TikTok, don't get me wrong. It's just certain things you can't talk about on here. And that's annoying. That's annoying. But that's the next thing. But y'all remember, you wouldn't be paying $4 a gallon national average gas if Trump didn't institute or implement or start a war with Iran. Trump did that. And the Republicans in Congress allowed him to do it. Oh yeah, they do their best to suppress our voices. My podcast, Janice, is every Wednesday. You can go to my website, straightfactsnofilter.com. The newest episode is sitting there right now for you to watch whenever you want to watch that. I put new episodes up there every week. They're also on YouTube, they're on Patreon, and they're on Spotify. And just so y'all know, the average price of gas is $3.99 for regular. When we're talking regular gas, $3.99 as of today for regular. Okay? So it's gone up a penny overnight because yesterday the average was $3.98. Okay? A month ago, it was $2.98 for gas. Trump did this. Now, I don't buy vehicles that take above regular, but if you do have a car that takes mid-grade, the average price for mid-grade is $4.50. Damn. Premium gas. The average price for premium gas is $4.87 for premium. And if you drive a car that takes premium gas, just so you know, a month ago, your gas was only $3.85 a gallon for premium a month ago. A month ago. That's why I say y'all can keep them fucking premium cars. I'm good on that shit. I can't imagine filling up a car with premium gas at the fucking gas station. I can't imagine. Jonathan, if gas was $5 around Joe Biden, right? And it's $5 around Trump, why y'all, this the thing. So y'all should have never been complaining about Joe Biden, right? Because we still got high gas prices, right, Jonathan? It's almost like y'all didn't care about paying more. Could that be, Jonathan? I was going to answer your question before I blocked you. Exactly. Now, all that laughing with no side teeth means you're spraying. Blocked. I don't want you spraying all over stuff. Jonathan, all he could do was laugh. It sounded like Muggsy. All he could do was laugh. Exactly. Because, see, I shine a light on that. Because as soon as you mention Donald Trump with high gas prices now, thank you, Lexi, I appreciate that. And you mentioned Donald Trump with high prices now, they magically go, but Biden. And so then my natural progression is, so you didn't care about high prices. But you said you did before the election. What it is they're full of shit. That's what it is. They're full of unadulterated shit. Y'all pretended to care that prices were high, but you didn't care because you're paying more for groceries than you were before. Thank you, Cedric. Thank you, Gregory. You're paying more for groceries than you were before Trump got reelected. You're paying more for gas. You're paying more for housing. You're paying more for food. You're paying more for insurance, whether it's car insurance, life insurance, health insurance, don't matter. You're paying more for all of it. Yep, and those prices are not going to really come back down because now it's the new normal. So again, it's almost like MAGAs didn't care about paying higher prices, huh? Me personally, I love seeing the posts online where people are writing, Mr. President, I can barely afford to eat. And you know what I say when I see those posts? Lies. Because if you could barely afford to eat, how do you have enough strength to write this letter to the president? Exactly. Exactly. How could you have enough strength to write a letter to the president if you're struggling to eat? But okay. See, if I were Trump, I'd go, these people ain't starving. Because if they were starving, how they got energy for me? Shouldn't they be tired from lack of nourishment? But hey, MAGA, keep writing those letters that Trump never reads. And you say, I can barely afford to eat, but like maybe they just mean they had to cut their money on food. I feel you, James, but why did they have to cut their money for food? I thought they were winning with Trump. See? If they were already struggling under Joe Biden, and then they voted for this guy who shits on a gold toilet, I don't want to hear them complain about struggling to eat. I want them to be quiet. I'd rather hear their stomachs rumble than hear them complain. I'm being honest. I would rather hear their stomachs. I would rather hear a symphony of empty stomachs than hear them cry. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. Oh, shut up. Shut up. It can't be that hard because you still got enough strength to complain. You're not hungry. You're not starving. You're not starving. Because if you were starving, you wouldn't be complaining. You'd be trying to preserve that energy. This is how come I know they all lying. Thank you, Susan. They're all liars. And I make it my business to point it out every fucking time. They're liars. Okay? Big old liars. That's the thing that I've been catching with these folks from the very beginning. They be lying and they be fronting. If you have the energy to complain about Donald Trump, you're not hungry enough. That's a fact. Wendy, they've convinced themselves that Trump cares about people because it's a cult. I told y'all from the very beginning that MAGA movement is the people's temple of politics. I told y'all, I caught that shit early on. It's very people's temple like. Donald Trump is revered by these people like he's Jim Jones. They are willing to risk everything for him. Well, I'll say it like this. They said they were willing to risk everything for him. But I told y'all too, this is something else I told you. I said people will tow water for this shit up until it don't match their reality. See, it's easy to say I'm for this and I'm for that until you can't put food on the fucking table. And you got kids looking at you and they hungry and they trying to figure out why the fuck they can't eat. They trying to figure out why the fuck the lights are off, why they don't have no heat in the house, why they don't have no water. See, it's real easy to say I'm for this shit when I haven't lost anything. But when you keep losing things, well, it ain't as easy to say that shit. I told y'all, these people are clowns. They had a movement that made them feel alive. It made them feel like somebody. For many of these people, for many of the people in MAGA, it made them feel like for somebody for the first time in a long time. That's the truth. It awakened a lot of people that for a long time ain't have shit to feel good about. And that's real talk. They didn't have nothing to feel good about. Trump comes along and he says the things that they've always wanted to say, but they couldn't really say them without a consequence. They couldn't say them, but then Trump could. And there was no consequence for Trump. And they could get behind it and support him. And that felt good. They had a place to hide. But the problem is you can't hide from them fucking bills. Can't hide from them bills. Can't hide from them data centers popping up in your community. Can't hide from them job losses. So all that other bullshit, they can't hide from. Like I said, they were still willing to tow water for him. Say it again, Zarvis, but America's supposed to be post-racial. Racism is expensive as fuck. One of the reasons why you're paying more for gas, racism. Ciao. I'm going to just go on record and say it and keep saying it. Racism is expensive. And if you keep letting racist ass people run your government, because see, understand, if they're racist here, they'll be racist all around the world. They don't just leave it to here. See, racism was what made Trump think he could go attack Iran and nothing, and he could just walk in, probably take their oil, take their refineries. No, sir. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Maybe in one of those revisionist history books, but Iran's been around for thousands of years. You don't last that long. You don't last that long by accident. You don't last that long by accident. And I'm going to tell you something. I told y'all this before. Nothing worse than starting a fight with somebody that's willing to die for their cause. Americans love to start fights, but they don't never want to lose nothing. Think about it. Americans love engagement, military engagement. But as soon as you have a dead soldier, Americans lose their fucking mind. Well, how the hell are you supposed to fight somebody and not lose anything? Only in America do people believe that shit. Because people in all these other countries, they understand if we're going to go fight for something, we're willing to die for that thing we're fighting for. Not America. Not America. Not only do they not want to die for it, they don't even want to pay more money. That's why you need to stop trying to fight people. Stop doing that shit. Because you're not equipped to do what's required and what's necessary to win. You're not willing to do it. And that's real shit. Americans are very spoiled. We're used to having what we want when we want it. Even if you ain't got much, you still used to having what you want when you want it. That isn't the reality for millions of people around the world. And they can't lose what they ain't never had. You, on the other hand, losing what you had access to gonna hurt you more. Real shit. I feel you, Joe. I feel you. But the people in power don't care about nobody beneath them. Nobody. Say it again, Nessa. America is a third world country with a Gucci belt. You say, did you hear U.S. being opposed to refunds for African Americans? Oh, yeah, I heard that. I saw that. But that's that good old racism. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. America has always pushed back reparations against black folks. They don't want to pay reparations to black people because it would be admitting fault. Thank you, Miss Bay. And not just admitting fault. Racist, poor white people would burn this thing down to know that black people got anything that they didn't. Yeah, I heard about Chili from TLC. I see her trying to clean the shit up. It's like, bitch, this is why. Okay. Can we talk about Nick Cannon for a minute? Can we talk about Nick Cannon for a minute? Now, I saw this. Okay. Let's talk about it just for a second. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on this dude. Okay? Because Nick ain't worth the time. Nick Cannon saying these things. I went, here we go again, another celebrity that obviously didn't really go to school, really didn't read books, but because he has money, he thinks in his mind he's smarter than everybody else. You say you disappointed by Nick Cannon? Listen, I've been disappointed by Nick Cannon. How the fuck you fumble Mariah Carey? So I've been disappointed by him. It's like, how the fuck do you fumble Mariah fucking Carey after pursuing her? Because he's a fucking clown. He's a fucking clown. But I certainly am not going to listen to a guy who lacks self-control. This man has no self-control. He ain't never met a woman that smiled at him and that he don't want to get pregnant. And I'm supposed to listen to this guy. This guy who got 10 kids by multiple different women. I wouldn't listen to this motherfucker about anything. It's nothing this man could tell me. Nothing. But you know what I saw, which didn't surprise me? A lot of uneducated black men, and not all black men are uneducated. Thank you, Miss Bay. But the ones that are carrying the water of this shit, because they don't read books either. See, we told you the Democrats is the party of the KKK. Did you only go to history class on that day when they talked about this? Did you never go back to understand how things kept progressing? I'm assuming they never went back. They never went back. Good morning to you, Scorp. They never went back. Good morning, Abby. Good morning, Candy. They never went back, but they heard just this much. Don't listen to Nick Cannon, because just like I said in the video I put out, I think I put it out yesterday, where I said Nick Cannon is right. The Democrats, the Republicans did free the slaves. They did. But what Nick failed to mention is the Democrats of yesteryear, those Dixiecrats, became Republicans. They're the Republicans of today. Now you can keep listening to this stupid fuck, because he's chasing no tax. He's chasing them fucking tax cuts. You understand? Nick Cannon don't want to pay taxes. He need all the money he can get so he can pay for all them fucking kids. He need all that money for that and for all them baby mamas and shit. And I also crack up with these guys too, especially Nick Cannon. Because a guy like Nick Cannon, who got 10 babies by all these different women, will still claim he's a high value man. He will still run out there and be like, well, I'm a high value man. No, you the fuck not. No, you was a high value man when you was Mariah Carey's ex with no other outside kids. Catch that part. You was still a high value man. But once you started hitting the streets and having a baby with every little woman that was willing to give you a little bit of flavor, oh, you lost all your stock. You for the streets. Nick Cannon is a for the streets type of dude. Quiet as kept with compromised DNA, because we know he deals with illnesses. So why the fuck would I want to have a baby with you? I know the girls are chasing money, but they obviously ain't that smart. Because why would you want to have a baby with a man? It's not like he's NBA or NFL bound. It's not like he's one of those guys where you can at least say I'm getting athletic DNA. You getting America's best talent DNA. Okay. I can't take you seriously. You getting drumline DNA. What? Huh? Who? Okay. Yeah, right. The Masked Singer DNA. Fuck out of here. I don't even understand why they lined up for that. This dude got a compromised immune system. And y'all having babies with this dude. And yeah, he does have lupus. You're purposely having a baby with a guy that has compromised DNA. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm just leave it right there. Like, you can't take a guy like this seriously. He gonna say anything. He been saying everything. Listen, when this guy was not ashamed of the fact that he had created 10 children. It's crazy too. As soon as I typed in how many kids, the first item on the results was does Nick Cannon have? Even Google know he raggedy. Even Google know. Oh, and I was wrong. Nick Cannon has 12 children. By 6 different women. This is not the motherfucker you listen to. This is not who the fuck you listen to. It's worse than I thought. I thought it was just 10. This motherfucker got 12 kids by 6 different mothers. Now, say if we didn't count Mariah Carey, then it's just 10, right? But if you count his ex-wife, he got 12 fucking kids. That's crazy. That's crazy. But he's supposed to be a high value man. Hey, Kiara, good morning. Thank you so much. He's a clown. He's a clown. That's why you don't pay attention to the Nick Cannons, the Nicki Minaj's. I find it funny that even Ice Cube, now he trying to put out videos talking about fuck the president. No, sir. Keep that same fucking energy that you kept before the election. Remember when you was popping your shit about Kamala Harris? Keep that same fucking energy. Because Ice Cube's bullshit also helped Trump get elected. So they can keep all of that shit they talking now. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Snap. Not a high value man like Trick Daddy. I'm still mad at Trick Daddy talking about women and talking about he this and he that. And I'm like, first of all, Trick Daddy was never cute. Was he younger? Yes, but he was never cute. Let's be honest. Let's stop. See, women be grading men on a fucking curve. You understand? Women grade men on a fucking curve. Men don't. Men don't grade on a curve. Don't grade their ass on a curve. Don't give them nothing. Don't give them nothing. Okay? Nothing. I keep telling y'all, a lot of men are built like misunderstandings and bad attitudes. That's why they act like they do. That's why y'all got to stop giving them energy and making them think that they look nicer than they do. Because then their head get real fucking big. I want a bad bitch. Well, don't we all? But you not built in a way. Your body not built to get a bad bitch. Catch that part. Catch that part. Everybody want a bad bitch. But your bank account and your body is not set up for that. Why would a bad bitch want to procreate with you? You built like your mama. She don't want no big hip boys. She don't want to give birth to big hip boys. She want athletes. She wants athletes, sir. That's why she chasing NFL players, NBA players. She not chasing the guy that works at the Meineke. The fuck? See, this is why they get mad at me. I don't give a shit. Be mad. I'ma say the quiet part out loud. Because y'all motherfuckers out of control. They out of control. And nobody's checking it. And I'm going, enough's enough. These men online, the conversations that I see these days, I'm always like, because I go to the first thing I do is go to their profile. And I'm like, no, this motherfucker didn't. Does he not have any mirrors in his house? Especially the ones I would see online talk about Lizzo. I'd be like, you saying Lizzo unattractive. Sir, you couldn't, even if you believed that, you can't even pull a Lizzo. You know what? You're right. Their mama be making them think they all that. But their mama be shaped like Lizzo, the very thing they complain about. And I'm not saying Lizzo not pretty. She is. But their mama's shaped like Lizzo. They baby mama's shaped like Lizzo. Just dig in those accounts, you'll see. Just dig in their accounts, you'll see. Soon as the very first thing I do, hey trucker boy, me personally, I'm gonna tell you how I work. On my videos, if I read the comments, I don't catch all of them, but I read most of them. And if I read a comment and it's a little questionable to me, the first thing I do is go to their profile. And it's always some busted ass oddball dude. Always some busted ass oddball dude that probably live at home with his mama. If he don't, he live on some woman, right? Some woman that's helping him pay the bills because he can't pay them all by himself, right? Don't have no side teeth. And the little bit of teeth that he do have look like a can opener. You know what I mean? Look like he been chewing on canned goods. And you be like, that's why he mad. That's why he mad. Because he want to pull a Lori Harvey, but he can't. So he sit online all day trying to talk down women to get them to lower their fucking standards to give his big Harambe ass a shot. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. And no disrespect. I like big things. I like big dudes. But not some of the ones that I be seeing talking shit online. Yeah, they all be chasing and wanting Lori Harvey. And I'm like, you're poor, sir. Lori Harvey wouldn't give you the time of day. Her stepdaddy would be like, what did I write in that book? Even Steve Harvey tell his daughters don't mess with broke dudes. Like I said, this dude's a fucking clown. Don't listen to him. He's a fucking clown. If you want 12 babies and 6 baby mamas, you listen to him. You listen to Nick Cannon if that's the case. And quiet as kept, he probably saying whatever he think he need to say to get somebody to watch that whack ass podcast he got. Because that podcast is whack. I like his co-host, but I don't like Nick Cannon. My issue is Nick Cannon. I don't like Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, sometimes I've liked him on certain things, but for the most part, Nick Cannon is a guy that comes across as a man that's always trying too hard to be liked. It's like, why do you act like that? You a corny ass dude. He corny. He corny. But thank you, Candy. But for him to say the shit that he said and not finish the conversation is clown shit. It's clown shit. And I'm tired of seeing people say this stuff and not finish the conversation. I'm tired of seeing that. Like I told y'all, I had this man this morning complain about the high cost of things. That things are so high under Biden, this, that, and the other. I said, so you shouldn't be complaining now. Because you shouldn't complain at all about what Joe Biden was doing because you're paying more now than you were then. He said, well, I moved to Mexico. So I said to him, then shut the fuck up. Why are you even talking about American politics when you moved to Mexico and probably don't even speak Spanish? So I know they're annoyed with his ass. You moved here where we live at. You don't even speak the fucking language. Go back to your country. But I bet you he down there in Mexico without his citizenship, overstaying a visa illegally in Mexico. But okay, sir. While you're on the internet talking about how people need to follow the immigration laws of America, well, you should follow them in Mexico and come back legally. I'm so sick of them and love you too. No, but Andrea, I would say no, they're not both the same. They're not. There are a lot of progressive Democrats in the party, but folks got to give them a shot and stop listening to just the old people. See, the biggest problem here is a generational, is this divide in generations of how people see and think differently. And y'all keep voting for old people. And them old people got a very narrow way that they see this shit. Real talk. Thank you for thinking I'm corny, Woodpecker. And look at you watching my corny ass giving me engagement. Thank you. Because if without me, what would I be without you? Thank you. That lets you know your ass cornier than me. Cause you watching. Well, you were till I blocked your punk ass. Now I ain't gonna even let you watch. You should have stayed quiet. Now you say, and people have no choice to be Democrats because they need support from Congress. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Amori. I appreciate that. I love the people who think I'm corny, but you still watching though. You still watching my corny ass. Now I think I know how Nick Cannon feels. Cause he'd be like, people say I'm corny, but then Nick like, you still watching? Yeah, that's probably how Nick Cannon feels. Thank you. I had to hit him with the Ja Rule, Natalie, because people be coming for Ja Rule. Ja got a lot of bangers. Now I want to tell y'all something else this morning. Now the Houthis, now I'd already told y'all about the Strait of Hormuz, right? How Iran has drafted legislation to charge tolls, right? But get this shit. The Houthis, they have now said that they have officially entered the war against US and I'm real. And they're threatening to shut down a whole different strait. Okay? Now, this strait is called the Bab el Mandeb Strait, and it's a narrow choke point between Yemen and Africa that handles 10% of all of the global seaborne oil trade. See, we ain't had this problem till Trump started a war in Iran. So now the Houthis, they say, oh, we've been waiting to fuck some shit up. We already been like doing things here or there. But now, oh, we fully engaged in fucking shit up. Y'all got that over there? Okay, we got this over here. There are no more games to be played. Trump has created a problem. Trump has created a problem. So now the Houthis are caught up in it. And this is how we got to this. Some got to give. Some got to give. See. Now I want to tell you two more things this morning as we start to wrap up this morning. If you live in New Mexico, I want to tell you about something that's happening close to you. Because, dude, I think you're in here this morning. In Texas, the Texas House Speaker is talking about annexing some of the New Mexico counties and making them belong to Texas. Because y'all know, see, Republicans, if they look at Donald Trump just went and took Venezuela, right? They figure, well, fuck, we could just take the shit we want. Nobody going to do nothing. So now they're looking at taking other counties in other states. No, they can't just do it, but they think they can. But they're talking about taking multiple. He's directed a committee to do a study on annexing New Mexico counties. They want the oil that you guys produce. Of course, I should have known that. But you would think Texas would have plenty of oil, that it wouldn't need to get its ass over into New Mexico. Hey, Annette, good morning to you, beautiful. So you got that's popped off. Now, did y'all also see how the U.S. Army helicopters went and did a flyby by Kid Rock's house in Nashville? Used your taxpayer dollars to go to fucking Nashville to fly by that dude's house that looked like he don't use washcloths. But the government tells you, thank you, Annette, but the government tells you ain't no money for health care. But it had money to fly by his fucking house. Wake up, folks. MMG, when you become an American, then you can talk to me about my country. Get the fuck out. Blocked. I don't talk to no foreigners about America. None. I don't talk to no foreigners about America. Okay? Go talk about your own raggedy ass country. I don't know if the guy was a foreigner or not, but 9 times out of 10, when people ask me questions like that, that's Brooke, you should be cooking. And you need to stay out of the sun so you don't have to keep looking through that come to Jesus filter to try to, so that we don't see you got skin like an old Coach bag. Blocked. Go cook something. Go scrub the bathrooms and your floor with your husband's toothbrush. But you shouldn't be talking to me. I don't talk to conservative women at all. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, T-Walk. I don't talk to conservative women at all. Because you shouldn't be bothering your pretty little head about politics. You should be working really hard to make sure you don't get a nussy like Trump. Because y'all know y'all be shape funny. That's where y'all focus need to be. On staying cute. So your husband don't have to keep trying to chase these young conservative women. Catch that part. Be focused on that. Go to gym. So you ain't got to be upset with Drewski. Because y'all know y'all built the same. I said what I said. Now this morning on the Uncensored Live, we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about Joe Rogan's bitch ass. Because y'all see Joe Rogan trying to pivot. Y'all see him trying to pivot. Joe Rogan said this weekend, he said that MAGA has become a movement of dorks and weirdos. Wasn't it always a movement of dorks and weirdos? I'm just asking. Wasn't it always a movement of dorks and weirdos? But now Joe Rogan says he doesn't want to be a part of MAGA if because of all these dorks and weirdos in there. Joe Rogan's full of shit. Don't fall for that okie doke. What it's starting to be is supporting Trump is starting to become unpopular. Don't let Joe Rogan make you think that he still wouldn't vote for Trump today. If an election happened today, Joe Rogan would still vote for Donald Trump. He's just concerned about advertisers drying up, listeners drying up. That's what Joe Rogan is concerned about. Joe Rogan chasing the bag. Joe Rogan's chasing the bag, okay? The biggity bag. That's all he's chasing is the bag. All right? Yep. They're trying to jump off the Titanic. Don't let them. Or you can let them jump off. Just make sure you're already in all the lifeboats. So they got to jump off into cold, freezing water. And it's hard to be in cold, freezing water. Let them. But don't you dare make a safe space for them fuckers to land. Okay? Don't you dare create a safe space for them to land. At all. Okay? Don't. What you should do is roll by with your boat, and when they try to get on it, be like, no. This boat is socialist. And you don't like socialism. Swim. Lifeboats are socialism. Force them to swim. So we're going to talk about Joe Rogan's ass. We're going to talk about J.D. Vance. And how J.D. Vance talks about the war. Okay. Still making excuses for it. We're going to look at some video in relation to the Houthis. Because the Houthis made an official announcement over the weekend that they are officially joining the war in support of Iran. Yep. So we're going to look at those videos. We're going to talk about the No Kings protests that happened all around America. And I just want to say at a high level, a protest is cool, but it don't do shit. Like, y'all can protest all the fuck you want. See, the protests, all these, see, I don't go to no protests. Okay, I'm gonna be clear. I don't go to no protests. And you know why I don't go? Because, see, y'all could have avoided Trump had you showed up to the fucking polls. So fuck your protests. I don't give a shit. You should have showed up to fucking vote. You should have been talking to your fucking family members. So fuck a protest. You gonna protest with your wallet? Or you gonna keep on buying Tesla's? See, because if you keep on buying Elon Musk products, your protest, you wasting your fucking time. Okay? You gonna continue relationships with people who voted to put people in cages? If you are, your protests are a waste of fucking time. I'm just putting it out there. I feel like a lot of people are protesting to make themselves feel better. You're not getting off that easy with me. You're not getting off that easy with me. Because that's really what this is about. This is about them feeling better. No, I will not allow them to hide behind a fucking protest. Did your punk ass show up to vote? Were you helping to campaign? If you didn't do none of those things, if you wasn't talking to people, trying to educate people before the election, I don't give a fuck about you marching now. I don't. I told y'all I don't show up to none of that shit. None of it. And I barely watch any of it online, to be honest. Because I'll be like, all this shit is performance. It's just like when a lot of these people that are showing up to the No Kings protests are the same people that showed up to them George Floyd marches. But when racism happening right in their community, right in their face, they quiet as fuck. It's performative. It's all an act. It's all performance art. Because when it's time for them to stand up for shit, they quiet. So I don't fall for that bullshit. Keep it. Save it. Save all of that shit for somebody that buys into it. Because I don't buy into it. Yep. A lot of people did those George Floyd marches because they was tired. Look, it was a pandemic. They was locked in the house. And one of the ways to get outside was a motherfucking protest. It was performance art. It was performance art. Because I know my ass was sitting at home going, wait a minute. So we're in the middle of a motherfucking pandemic. And y'all plan to push back against shit is to go outside and be around thousands of people. Yeah, I'll pass on that. I'll pass on that shit. Right. They back at work today. They protested over the weekend, but they right back at work today feeding the fucking capitalistic system that supports the shit. Man, get out of here. That's why I don't take the shit seriously. It's performance art. I don't take it seriously. It's performance art. If you really want to make a difference, you got to hit people where it matters, in their fucking pockets. If you're not willing to protest with your wallet, you getting out there on your feet means nothing. You want to know one of the reasons why the civil rights protests worked so well? Because it was also an economic protest. They wasn't just marching and just saying, they were protesting with their fucking wallets. The Montgomery bus boycott was an economic. See, they needed them black dollars and them black asses on them buses too. And when black people was like, nah, fuck that. When you're going to act like we can't sit where we want to sit, well, fuck it. We just will not be a part of the shit that y'all are a part of. We'll work together to make sure we still get to where we need to get to without using your system. You have to be willing to boycott with your money. And I told y'all, people are not willing to do that. Why are they not willing to do that? At the end of the day, they don't want to lose their couch. They pop all of this shit, but economically, they don't want to lose their status in the system. That's why I talk about it, because a lot of this is about hierarchy. And at the end of the day, people really don't want to lose their hierarchy in the system. They may not like the system, but they don't want to lose their place in it, because nobody wants to be on the bottom. Nobody wants to be on the bottom. And they're willing to stand on the shoulders of the people who are to avoid being down there. That's why people push so hard. They don't want to be down there either. Now do y'all get why I'm telling y'all that? This is also why I was telling people really early on, hey, create co-ops. We got to get back to being a part of a community. If you're not willing to be a part of a community, to work together, to lean on each other, well, you're going to keep feeding the system. You're going to keep feeding the system. You got to be willing to feed each other. Because if not, the rich people are going to keep leaning on us. Because honestly, at the end of the day, yeah, you got racism, you got misogyny, you got xenophobia in America, but the biggest problem you have is class. The rich versus everybody else. That's really what you have. The rich versus everybody else. And the rich will use everybody around you to get you to be behind whatever that cause is, because ultimately it all comes down to money. It all comes down to money. And rich people make a lot of money over us fighting. See, it all goes back to economics. But you can keep racists poor. All you got to do is get them behind something. And that's them believing that they're better than other people because of race. Remember, race is what man created. Man created race so they can have that division. Oh, listen, there were a lot of reasons why Latinos voted for Trump. Racism and misogyny. Racism and misogyny were why a lot of Latinos voted for Trump. And for a lot of them, thank you, Natasha, thank you, Queen, a lot of them don't understand how race works in America. They think if you don't have dark skin, you white. Not in America. Not in America. Having white looking skin does not make you white in America. That's why a lot of Latinos are in detention camps right now, because they thought they were white. See, if America thought you were white on those questionnaires, they wouldn't ask if you have any Hispanic lineage. That's why they ask. Now y'all get it. That's why when you're filling out those forms, you notice, like say when you're filling out job applications or whatever form, they ask you your ethnicity, right? They say, oh, are you black? Are you white? Is that? But then they ask, do you have any Hispanic heritage? Thank you, Annette. That's why they ask that question. That's why they ask. Because as soon as you check Hispanic, oh, but you're not white. Not to America. Not to America. And guess what? Not only are you not white to America, you'll never be. No matter how much you suck up, no matter how many cowboy hats you buy, no matter how much you try to, speak with a country accent, you're still not white. See, that's another conversation that has to happen in America to change some shit. Because until Americans really force a conversation in the Hispanic community, the Hispanic American community, to say, why the fuck y'all want to act like y'all not people of color? Why y'all want to pretend to be everything but a person of color? Are you ashamed? Oh yeah, we talked about that last week. The person in Maryland called on those people. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know it's not all Latinos. I'm just saying, but there's a large segment of Latinos who want to be white adjacent. Let's just be honest about the shit. Nothing's gonna change until you get honest about it. To ask them outright, why do you keep trying to pretend you white? They're never going to fully accept you. They're never going to really like you. Why? Because you're not white. And having fair skin don't make you white. It's like the Indians. And now I'm not talking about Native Americans. I'm talking about Indians from India. A lot of them, they got color issues too. Let's be honest. Because in India, the lighter you are, the more you're accepted. There are a whole lot of Indians that migrate here to America that are darker than my black ass, that will still try to pretend they're not dark. Like, I can see your fucking skin. Like, the fuck? You're not white either. Matter of fact, not only are you not white, you're less inclined to be accepted in the circles you want to be accepted in because you got this thick ass accent. So you really ain't fooling nobody. Wake up. You're not white. And being white adjacent is one of the most dangerous places you can be when you hate yourself. That's a dangerous place to be when you hate yourself. Something got to give. This is why I was all for teaching CRT in schools and talking about real American history, because I got tired of hearing people say, it makes me uncomfortable to talk about slavery. You should be uncomfortable talking about slavery. There's never a time you should talk about slavery and feel real cozy and warm on the fucking inside. You're supposed to feel uncomfortable when you talk about the atrocities of yesteryear in America. You should feel that way. You should feel some type of way about the fact that women had to fight for equality in America. That should make you feel some type of way. But instead, you know what America does? We're not going to talk about that because we don't want people to feel bad. No, what they don't want you to feel is empathy. That's what they don't want you to feel. They don't want you to feel empathy. No, Nathaniel, I don't talk to anybody that both sides stuff. That tells me you don't read books and you're probably from the continent of Africa. Don't talk to me about American politics. Blocked. I don't talk to no fucking foreigner except for Canadians, because Canadians are great people, and I've been thinking about trying to migrate to Canada. Outside of that, don't talk to me about no fucking American politics. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nobody from the continent of Africa talk to me about American politics, because you wasn't saying that shit when you was taking my American tax dollars. So shut up. You love American tax money. So don't get on the internets trying to tell us what the fuck we need to be doing. Because no sooner than we giving your ass tax money, you got your little grubby hands out trying to get some of it. So quiet. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. I know I'm not. Save that for somebody that's trying to hear that, because I ain't trying to hear it. And that's real shit. I'm not trying to hear it. I can always tell y'all always take the same type of pictures because y'all always using the same crappy ass cell phone. It's like y'all sharing the same cell phone. Not each of you have your own phone. Like y'all passing around the same fucking stuff. Can I use the cell phone now? I want to take my picture for my profile on TikTok. You're all using the same fucking phone. I'd have more respect if y'all all had a different phone. But it's all the same phone. It got to be the same phone because it's all the same type of picture from the same vantage point and shit. I can't take it. No more of that. So this one we're going to talk about a lot of things. Plus, the Iranians have put out more videos. And so we're going to review some of those videos and we're going to talk about the detail. The amount of detail that these people are putting into making videos to troll the administration. I gotta keep it real, Panchana. I have to, because I'm tired of people pretending otherwise. Hey, Maribel. Hey, beautiful. I'm just tired of people pretending. I've had enough. You say they have a documentary exposing foreign people posing as Americans. I can believe it because, again, there are no constraints on social media in America. And it don't take much. See, and the American education system ain't good. So it really don't take much to convince an American on the internet that the person they're talking to is an American. And keep in mind, even if the person they're talking to has broken English, they'll still think it's an American. Why? Because most Americans speak with broken English. Most Americans don't read very well, right? And if they don't read very well, they tend to not have very good critical thinking skills either. See, the dumbing down of America has been a deliberate effort by those who want to keep you oppressed. Real shit. They get off on it. They get a lot of power from you being oppressed. I'm gonna show you something on our way out of here. Hold on. That's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna show y'all something on the way out of here. I saw this. You know how conservatives always talk about being anti-woke? Look at that. I bet you their punk asses woke now. I bet you their punk asses are woke now. As they watch the values of their 401ks, the bottoms drop out of them. As they watch gas drain their retirement fund. As they watch the price of groceries and insurance and all these things, as they see all of this shit. Okay? I bet you they punk asses woke now. They woke now. Because now they're looking to be saved by liberals. Why won't somebody stop Trump? Well, remember, y'all said Republicans won majority in the House and the Senate because Trump had a mandate. So don't look to be saved. Don't look to be saved when the mandate don't work for you no more. Don't look to be saved. You're right, Gemini girl. Woke is supposed to be awareness. That's where the black community came up with woke. To be aware, to see things other people are not seeing because they're walking around with their eyes closed. You understand? But conservatives found a way to make that a bad thing. You know why? Because conservatives would rather you be asleep. They can't pick your pockets if you're awake. They cannot pick your pockets if you are awake. But they can if you're asleep. See, if you're asleep, they can sell you fake ass gold coins, fake ass tennis shoes and cell phones and watches and cereal. They can sell you all types of shit when you sleep. That's why I love the anti-woke. I love the anti-woke because the anti-woke is the definition of a fool and their money will soon part. That's the anti-woke. Now they're looking to be saved. No, don't save them. Yep, that's why they do call it an American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it. You have to be asleep to believe in that American dream bullshit. Ultimately, the American dream is to be born rich. The fuck? Hell, even working class people don't want to be working class people. I just had to block somebody with 11 followers. I'm going to give $5,000 to the first person. Impossible. You got 11 followers. You ain't about to give nothing to nobody. Scamming ass. I wish George Carlin, but if George Carlin was still around, he'd be cussing Americans out something terrible. You understand? He'd be like, y'all the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen. Thank you so much for that, Natasha. I was raised to think and not just believe what you're told. Somewhere along the line, Americans were, and I think religion's a big part of this, was taught to never question, just believe. That's religion. Thank you, Baps. I appreciate that. Somewhere along the line, Americans were taught to just believe and not to challenge the shit. That's religion. That's religion. Don't question it. Why not? Why can't you ask questions? I thought God wanted you to. Man said don't ask questions. You know why? Because man can't scam your ass if you ask him questions. You're going to figure shit out. That's why they tell you that. Thank you, House of Ren. Thank you, Babs. I appreciate that. You're supposed to question shit. Anybody who don't want you questioning stuff is trying to fucking scam you. Thank you, Lindy. Thank you, Moni. Thank you, Just Be You. They're trying to scam you. I always tell my kids, you can ask me questions. That don't mean I can answer all of them. But I'm going to be honest and tell you I don't know when I don't know. What I will not do is make shit up. Because I was also taught this. Thank you, T-Walk. I was also taught in the absence of information, people make shit up. And that's a fact. In the absence of information, people make shit up. Never let somebody tell you you shouldn't be thinking. You shouldn't be asking questions. And when it comes to your government, you should always be asking questions of it. Why? You know why? Because it's your tax dollars at work, money that comes out of your fucking paycheck. You damn right you supposed to ask. Why do our tax dollars keep being given to rich people? You damn right you should ask. You're vilified for being a working class person. And they're praised because they got money. But yet they put their shoes on the same way you do. Ain't nothing special about those people. Stop letting society make you think that's not the case. So this morning, we're going to have a great time. Because when I show y'all some of the shit that I have found over the weekend where I was like, wow, Iran not playing with us. They're not playing with us. So, listen, I thank y'all for joining me this morning. And we also had a great time Saturday, cooking the Philly cheesesteak, listening to music. Oh, we had a great time. Now, I will be back this afternoon. Also, I think on Wednesday, we're going to listen to more albums on Wednesday. Okay? We're going to listen to more albums on Wednesday. I got to make sure I order that other piece so we can listen to the 45s. But I got a lot more great music coming. And so we're going to continue to go back in time listening to albums. And we'll do that on Wednesday. Okay? Oh, look, Kiki, we had a great time. We had a fun time. I love you all. Listen, thank you. We got over 100,000 likes this morning. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Okay? Thank you so much. We got over 60 shares. Now, as I'm wrapping up, I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters. I try to do this every live. Number 1, beautiful Annette Harvey. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 2, handsome Cedric Williams. Thank you so much, handsome. Number 3, Miss Beautiful Kanique. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Number 4, handsome T-Walk. Thank you so much, handsome. Number 5, beautiful Natasha. Thank you so much, beautiful. And a special shout out to number 6, Miss Beautiful Lindy. Thank you so Lindy Way. Thank you so much, Lindy Way. I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want you to have a beautiful and blessed day on purpose. Y'all still need to stay on y'all elected officials and stay watching what the fuck they doing. Don't forget about that. Keep your head on a swivel watching. Okay? All right? I love you all. To those of you who are about to join me in the Uncensored Show, it'll be starting in about 60 seconds. And I want to remind y'all, don't let nobody live rent free in your head today, people. Don't feed no trolls. And you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, everybody. And I'll see you on Patreon in a few seconds. Love you and have a beautiful and blessed day.